Hello, welcome back to Mapped, and here I am with my beloved K100RS and the lay-by sadly covered with litter, such a shame. But anyway, I'm here today to give you the 5 things I hate about the K100RS. Cue intro. Okay, so I'm out here in the peaks, or just about to get to the peaks, I should say. I'm just outside Macclesfield. The plan today is to head up to the Cat and Fiddle. It's one of my favourite destinations, especially now the cafe up there is now open, and who knows, more of it might be open today, so we'll find out. And it is roasting out here. I'm melting a bit in my gear, but I shouldn't complain because it's a glorious day. I'm using my bespoke sat-nav system with the quad lock belt clip here and my USB charger hooked up. The belt clip system inadvertently was a really good choice because it actually holds the cable in place. I didn't even think about that, but it works. Anyway, let's get out of here and head on up to the Cat and Fiddle. Ooh. There we go. Oh, beautiful bike. Alright, so here we go, out on the K. First off, I want to apologise for the awful audio in my first video in this series about the K100. It's a new lid that I've got on today, and I'm using the new Drift 4K Plus camera, which is a really good camera, but going out with using those 2 new items resulted in poor audio, so yeah, big apologies for that, but I think I've sorted it now. It is so nice out today. I'm so pleased I've got out, and I'm trying to make the most of the K while I've got her, because as I would have covered in my last video, I am looking to sell her. But this video is all about the 5 things I hate, or dislike I should say, about the K100RS. So let's get things rolling with number one on the list. And number 1 on the list is quite poignant today. As I've mentioned, it's really hot, so I think it's going to be hitting around 30 degrees today, which is always a double-edged sword when you're a biker with all the kit and the helmet and all that kind of stuff. But with regards to the bike, number 1 relates to the heat that the engine kicks out. Now, it's just immense, the amount of heat that this flat 4 kicks out. It's a well-known, documented thing, so it's just not just a personal note from me about something I dislike about it. It's well documented about the amount of heat that this bike kicks out, particularly in the earlier models like this one is, with the 8-valve system on the flat 4, but it literally pushes all the heat up straight into the rider. In fact, the inside of my legs are just melting at the moment. I had to just pull in just to cool down a little bit. So yeah, number 1 on the list is very simple, straight to the point, is the amount of heat that this thing kicks out. On cold days it's fantastic, but on hot days not so much, and it can be very uncomfortable for the rider. Okay, so let's move on to number two. Number two on the list. So number two. So number two on the list, kind of, it's, oh, blah, 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 blah. Take two. Number two on the list is kind of connected to the heat that kicks out from the engine. And it is related to the clocks. And I don't know if you can make out. We'll just get past this roundabout and I'll show you. She's riding so well today. So yeah, the clocks heat up. I don't know if you can see that. Massive amount of condensation right there on the clocks, and it will spread across to the other side too. And it's two schools of thought on this. One, it's the heat, as I've said, coming up from the engine, generating condensation inside there. Or number two, the bulbs within the inside the instrument panel heating up over a prolonged period of time in a sealed case, namely the instrument panel, causing condensation. And I think I'm leaning towards the bulbs more so than the heat. If you go on the forums, no end of threads are on there about this matter, and a lot of people have swapped out the existing bulbs for newer LED variants, and they say the problem has been resolved. But it's just something I haven't got around to, and quite honestly I think it's just a little bit too fiddly for me. And again, like the first point on this list, this is a well documented flaw with the K100. So it's nothing wrong with my particular bike. It's more of an issue with the range. But as I said, you can resolve that problem if you want to, but it's just a bit annoying as you get this more and more condensation in there. But there we go, what you got to do. So where was I? I've done number one, I've done number two. Okay, number three in the bike. This one is more of a reflection on me rather than the bike, and it is ergonomics. The general ergonomics of the bike. Now the K100RS, much like the R1250RS, is a very long and low bike. I feel that it's got a very big turning circle, and it's heavy, man. It's a heavy machine, and I find it quite difficult to move it around. Moving around the garage, moving around the yard, and even when you're out and about. So, but again, that's more of a reflection on my flaws rather than the bike itself. But it's just something to be aware of with, I think, the RS series. They're long and low, and if you're looking at older bikes, they're heavy and have got heavy steering as well. So it's just an FYI on that one. And it makes the list because it's something that I get frustrated with. Getting onto the good stuff now. Oh yeah. Beautiful roads. Okay, number four. Number four is again a reflection on me. And not on the bike. Let me just get around this corner. Beautiful. Yeah, number four are the pegs. Now again, straight up, no problem with the bike. This is a personal one as it reflects my limitations as a rider. But the pegs are just too high for me. And it makes it uncomfortable for longer rides, because I'm really struggling right now. I've been riding for about an hour, and I'm regularly stretching out my my legs, and I think I've just been too spoilt with the GS on that one. You know, there's nothing wrong with it per se, and it can be very, very comfortable, especially if you've got no problem with your knees. But for me, with the the bars so far forward and the pegs so high up, it makes it for an uncomfortable position for longer rides. And we should look at the view, people. Look at that, beautiful. I'm so chuffed I've managed to get the bike up here. So much fun! And finally, number five on the list. And again, this is just a testament to how things have moved forward. And number 5 are the brakes. Although I've got Brembos on the front and back of this thing, and at the time it was a very significant braking system when the bike came out, having double discs at the front, single disc at the back, with a full Brembo system. It was pretty much cutting edge. But you know, march on 35 years and the brakes are lacking a bit. I have replaced the discs, but coming from a Brembo system on my GSs that are obviously new, and it's an unfair comparison, I know, but it's just a bit of a benchmark exercise about how far braking has come along. And you know, yeah, the bike stops, but it's a bit vague, so you just have to be a bit more aware of that when out on the bike, and being aware of your distance has certainly caught me out a few times. And plus it doesn't have ABS, and that's caught me out a few times as well. So yeah, everything works absolutely fine, but I think modern riders like myself have come very accustomed to modern systems. I'm looking forward to getting a drink up at the Cat and Fiddle. Look at that, I love coming up here. Alrighty, so I'll do a summary now, as I typically do. So number 1 is the heat coming up from that beautiful flat 4 engine. Number 2 is the condensation. I don't know if you can see that, but the condensation kicking up within the instrument panel. Always annoying and always happens, but what you're going to do. Number 3 are the general ergonomics. It's long and low and heavy, man, with a big heavy turning circle. Number 4 are the pegs. Just too high for me. Nothing wrong with them, they're just a bit too high. And number 5 are the brakes. So there we go. There's my top 5 list of things I hate, or rather dislike, about the beg your pardon, the K100RS. And I think we'll all agree that when we're talking about bikes that are 35 years old, these things all just add up to make character. They're not really flaws on the bike, they just give it more of a character, more soul, if you like. So, oh, look at the view! The Cat and Fiddle is just around the corner, so I'll sign off when I get up there. But thank you very much for watching, I really appreciate it. I hope you are enjoying these random little series of 5 things. I enjoy making them. I hope you're all safe and well, and enjoying this weather as much as you can. So Team Mapped will be out again real soon, and until then, take care. Bye bye. Oh! I thought of another one! Bit of an extra one. I think I really grates on me. Oh, not grates on me, that's not fair. Always catches me out. It's the front end of the bike. I've been again very spoilt with the GS, with its wonderful tilly lever suspension with no dipping at the front end. And every time I put on the front brakes, this bad boy always scares the bejesus out of me, how far it dips down. But again, that's character. Anyway, here we are, the Cat and Fiddle. Beautiful